Hello everyone, we're going to get into multiplying fractions in this video. And one thing I have to say is that multiplying fractions, it's much easier than you think it is. One of the main things you have to understand and remember is that when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. If your answer comes to be an improper fraction, well, you go ahead and make it into a mixed number. If your answer is a proper fraction, first you analyze and see if you can simplify. If you can, go for it. If not, then that will be your final answer. So with that in mind, let's get into it. So we're going to go straight to number one. And what I like to tell my students is I always draw arrows here that tells me that numerator goes with numerator, denominator with denominator. So 3 times 4, that will get you 12. And 5 times 8, that will give you 40. So the answer comes to be 12/40. Now that is a proper fraction, but again, they're both even, so we're able to simplify. Remember that on a test, they're gonna make you simplify until you cannot do it no more. So here, we look for numbers that can go into 12 and into 40. We have 2. But 4, it's a much better number. So the bigger the number, the less steps you have to do. So 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 goes into 40 10 times. Now we have 3 tenths, and as you know, 3 tenths cannot be simplified anymore. So 3 tenths will be your answer for number 1. Number 2. It's a little different. We have a mixed number and a whole number. First and foremost, we have to make this mixed number into an improper, so we can remove the whole number there. So what we do is we do what we call Texas. We multiply here at the bottom and then we add on top. So we're going to multiply my 4 times the 1, so that will be 4, and I add the top. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 will be 5. My denominator stays the same. So now it's 5/4 times 2. Now, all of you should remember that anytime you're multiplying by a whole number, you put the 2 over 1 or the whole number over 1, and that makes your fraction. And we're back to normal. Numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. 5 times 2 will be 10. 4 times 1 will be 4. Now here your answer is an improper, so we have to make it into a mixed number. So we can go ahead and start dividing. Top number in the house, bottom number outside the house. 4 can never go into 1, but 4 goes into 10 twice. So that'll be 8. 10 minus 8 will be 2. So here we have our answer. That 2 represents our whole number. The remainder, it's my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. So my answer is my whole number at 2, and then my numerator is 2, and my denominator is a 4. So my answer is 2 and 2/4. Now be careful with this one, because 2/4 you can actually simplify by 2. 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. So it reduces to 2 and 1/2. So that will be your answer for number 2. And the other way you're going to see multiplying fractions, it's on a given word problem like this. So let's get to it. Mark is training for a marathon. He runs 5 1/3 of a mile every day for 9 days in a row. How many miles will Mark run? So all you have to do is multiply the amount of miles he runs per day by the number of days. So we have to figure or find the two numbers that we're dealing with, 5 1/3 miles every day, and he's going to be doing that for 9 days. So basically we set it up as a problem, which is 5 1/3 times 9 days, and we do the same. We make the mixed number into an improper. So we multiply here and add. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1, it's 16. Denominator stays the same as a 3. 9, it's a whole number. We need it as a fraction. We put it over 1. Now here, we can do something to make our fractions even smaller, even before we multiply numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. 3 and a 9. So 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 goes into 3 1 time. So I can replace that with the 1. So now that would leave me with 16 times 3, and that would be 48. So 16 times 3 is 48, and then 1 times 1 will be 1. And as you know, that's an improper, so we divide. 1 goes into 48 times. So there's your answer. How many miles will Mark run? Well, 48 will be your answer. Thank you.